let's start our conversation with Lise, that I'm extremely delighted to have today with us. Thank you for accepting the invitation, Lise.
Well, thank you, and thanks for having me.
Great. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your business to start with?
Absolutely. My name is Lise Halskov, as you said. I live in Denmark. I am Danish. And I have actually sort of two companies. I work with project management in both of them. I have a Danish one where I do consulting in project management, and I also do e-courses, e-learning in project management and planning and everything surrounding project management. So basically trying to teach everybody, like you don't have to be a project manager in order to work like one. So I try to teach, you know, everybody to how to work efficiently with project management tools. So that's the base of my business. I do have a US website that I haven't done too much about, but it's about to roll out. So that's why I'm also very interested in seeing how I can get this Business Hangout stuff to work on that part. But so far, it's the Danish business I've been working on.
Wonderful. And is it mainly for your project management business that you have been starting using Business Hangout? Is that correct?
Yes. Yes. I think actually I might start to use it for some other private stuff too, because it's a great way to have a get-together with people. But so far, it's only been professional, and that's why I started using it.
Right. Can you tell us a little bit about the main marketing strategy that you have for the project management business that you have, and in order to make a transition to what made you use Business Hangouts there?
Yeah, sure. It's mainly, well, I have two parts of my business. I do consulting where I go out and consult with businesses, but I do a lot of stuff online, and I use email marketing quite heavily. And that's why I figured if I want to have, I have this new course, project management course that I wanted to promote, and it occurred to me that one of the most efficient ways of promoting it would be if I use some sort of webinar approach. And so, since I'm both very active on Google Plus and I'm very active in my media, my email marketing, I figured that if I could somehow do training, free training, where I could tell people about what this was all about, it would be a great way to market my business. And also, I've been thinking of going into doing more webinars overall, because I do video and I do blog posts and stuff, and the occasional webinar just spices it up a little bit, because you can get more in depth with training and different things, and it's more interactive than just doing video. So it's been on my list for quite a while, and so I thought this was the time, in connection with promoting this this new course, that I wanted to try it out.
So education, recognition of expertise, thought leadership, are these the reasons why you are? How about lead generation? Any lead generation?
I haven't done that so far, but yes, definitely lead generation, and that's why I want to do more webinars in the future, because it's also a great way of approaching other businesses with, you know, proposals of doing stuff together. If I find other small businesses with the same target group as I have, it's obvious to offer doing webinars for their audiences, for example, and it's always nice that you have the software and the setup that you can offer to people. It makes it easier for them to accept it, because otherwise it's sometimes a little difficult to set it all up. So I thought this whole package would make it easier for me to do more cooperations with other businesses.
Wonderful, great. Tell us, how did you learn about Business Hangouts?
Well, I started my since I'm a lot on Google Plus, I did notice the Google Hangouts, and so I was very interested in that. and I started checking out whether I could go that route. And first, I was a little bit discouraged because, at least in Denmark, not a lot of people are on Google Plus. It's a little bit, sorry to say it, nerd paradise here. It's a little bit the nerdy people who are on Google Plus still. I'm sure it's going to spread because it's a fantastic community in my mind. But I definitely saw that I wouldn't find all my my target group wouldn't be there simply. So it would be a very small webinar, and which is fine to begin with, but if I wanted to roll it out, it would be a tough sell to convert people to Google Plus users before they could actually participate. So that was a big minus there. So I started looking at other types of software, and I was just a little bit discouraged about how expensive it is. Because a lot of these webinars, my first thought was to use it as free webinars, just for lead generation and for maybe for selling, marketing stuff. But I thought the price of what is out there is really high, I think. So I was a little discouraged, and then I don't even know exactly. I think I ended up in a Google Plus group, where somebody pointed me in this direction and said, and I think I got in touch with you, and you said, well, you could check this out. And I figured this is a solution for what I'm looking for, because I can invite people in who are not Google Plus users. It's a plus if they are, because you can participate live, but you can still have webinars where people can attend like a regular webinar. And since I think it's also fun to try out new technology, I was immediately hooked on the idea. So that's how I started checking it out.
So that's interesting. So you were interested in Business Hangouts because it was the one which was at the same time very affordable and still a business allowing webinars that you didn't find in the regular Hangout, the features that you didn't find in regular Hangout. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, the regular Hangouts are great and cool, but there is less control. Which, I mean, if you want to use it for business purposes, it's too out there. I mean, you can't really control exactly what's happening, and you can only have so and so many people participating. And I mean, you can do the on-air Hangout, which is fine. You can have a lot of people on, but it just seemed all the invitations, the sign-up process, the fact that you want to collect email addresses. I mean, I'm producing high quality content for my webinars, so what I ask for in return is that people leave an email for me, which I think is a fair trade, because they get a lot of value for free. And I figured if I just do these as Hangouts, I have no idea. I mean, it's going to be sort of random who's going to show up and who's not, and the whole fact that you have to be on Google Plus to even be there, I thought that was too complicated. Simply, I would lose out on way too many people. So I thought this was a more controlled environment, and still with a lot of interactivity and a lot of options that I liked a lot.
Wonderful, great. How about the learning curve? How did it go? Where did you start? What were the challenges, and how did it go? How long did it take as well?
Well, I don't think it took that long. Well, I did bombard you a bit with questions in the beginning, but I went and found different tutorials, and I just tried it out. I had little weird hangouts with myself late at night just to try it out and see what happened. And just tested it out, and then I figured I told my email audience when I invited for the first webinar that I did. I told them this is completely new software. I have no idea how it's going to go, but I'm hoping you will join me and try it out and see if it goes well. And people were pretty excited about it, and I did have some mishaps during that webinar, but overall it went pretty well.
That's great. So this is one best practices advice you're also giving. You set the expectations for your audience, as it was your first one.
Yeah, and and I think it's like a lot of other stuff in your business that you can overthink it. You can wait so long for it to be perfect that you never get to the point where you do it, because there's no way you will find out if you can do this without just trying it. But what you could do, I didn't do this, but what you could have done was just invite 3 friends for a little closed hangout to test it out and see if that would work. But I just decided I have a pretty good email list, and they're pretty confident that I thought they thought it was fun because it was new for most of those people too. So I think a lot of people showed up to see what this software was about, and of course the content, but it was well received.
Can you give us some numbers, if it's okay, like how many days or how many weeks before you knew about the software and you were really live with your webinar, and also how many people are registering in your webinar, some sort of quantity, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. I think I had my first webinar a couple of weeks after I signed up for it, because I like to just do things, and I figured I better set a deadline for myself, because then I have to figure it out. Which also ended up in a couple of frantic emails a couple of days before to you guys. But I just figured if I don't set a date, I'll just keep postponing it, because there's always something else you can start working on. And also, I think if you want to invite people for free webinars, you can ask them like a month in advance, because they'll forget about it, even if you remind them. I think it's fine to have sort of short deadlines, that this is now or never kind of type things, because that will make people act on it. So there's no use in necessarily making it a long period. So I just jumped into it and worked. I spent quite a lot of time adjusting the invitations and the sign up page, because I had to do all the translation, which of course took a little bit of time, but it's not in any way difficult. It just took a little bit of time to get that right. But I think it ended up looking pretty well. Pretty good.
I thank you for many things, but I have to add especially one additional thing, is that you pointed out that our templates were not handling properly the special European languages characters. So yeah. I remember that, and you actually created a very nice, and I trust you for that, I cannot judge it, a very nice Danish confirmation, which is now part of the tool. That's the beauty. Cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if this is a tip for if there's somebody else out there with a language that's not included in your stuff, because what I did was basically, when I created the invitation and the reminders, what I did was create my own little Word file next to it. So every time I had created one and translated it and it looked the way I wanted it to, I copied all the HTML and pasted it into a Word document and put the right heading on it. So I know the next time I can just go in and copy the whole thing over. So I don't need to start, coming up with the same translations once more. So I'm a project manager, so I put stuff in systems.
Absolutely, you're managing this wonderfully. Are you an HTML developer? Have you some HTML skills?
No, well, I know a little bit. I mean, when you run your own business, you have to wear many hats. So I do know just the basics of it. So in reality, it's not. I mean, if you only know a couple of links, you need to know how to put that in. But other than that, it's not at all difficult. So I just figured it out.
Right. So when you're seeing a tag, you know that you don't touch that part, and when you're seeing a sentence in English, you just translate it in Danish or modify it and customize it.
Yeah, exactly.
Wonderful. Great. Thank you. Thank you very much, Lise. This is really exciting. I'm sure our viewers are learning a lot through this conversation.
You asked me a little bit about some numbers. I didn't give you that.
I'm sorry. Please.
Yeah, I didn't have a lot of people signing up for the first webinar. I decided to do 2. That I've only done 2 so far, but I'm going to do a bunch in the next month actually. But I can tell you about that later. They're a little different than what I did now. But I did 2, and I decided to go for 2 different times of day, because I didn't really know. I have a target group that's half of them are little independent companies, like little startups, and half of them are just employees at different companies. And I honestly didn't know what time of day would fit them best. So I did one between 10 and 11 Danish time in the morning, and then I did one at 8 at night. And to my surprise, the one at night was actually the most seeked. So I think I probably had about 35 signups for the second one, and I think 20 people attended. And the first one I think only 10 people attended it or something like that. But it was kind of nice, because I think I would have freaked out if 100 people had sat there, and it was new, and I thought it was actually kind of okay that I didn't have a huge audience for the first one.
Oh no,
but
that's great.
I'm expecting the numbers to grow, because people were really excited about it, and I put the recordings out for people to go in and watch afterwards, and a lot of people asked for the recordings, so also people who couldn't attend. So I think it was a big success.
Excellent, fantastic. Yeah. I really like what you have done, and it's a very, very nice example. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Lise. Would you like to get some questions from the audience?
Sure. Fire away.
All right. There's one question, but you already answered it. I'm still sharing it. Bruce McCallum is asking, why did you choose Business Hangouts over Google, and advantages? I think you answered. If you want to.
Yeah, it's actually, I mean, it's definitely the fact that you can do the invitations and make it look more professional. Of course, you could copy a link and paste it into an invitation and stuff, but the fact that you could direct people to I don't know, a more official looking sign-up page, I thought that was great. And you could automate the reminders and all this stuff, because of course you could do all this stuff with your email list, but you would have to do a lot of manual transferring people back and forth on these lists in order to make that work. So I thought that was a big advantage to just using Google Hangouts.
Wonderful, great. Thanks for reminding that. We have a question from Janet Hamilton for you. How do you promote your webinars? Email blast, post on your page?
All of it. Basically, I did quite a heavy blast on my email list, and I did several reminders of that because I know how it is. If you don't act on it right away, you forget about it, you put the mail away, so you have to remind people. And so I did, even if the email was not specifically about that, there would be a little mention about it. I used all the social networks that I use. I use some more than others, but you know, it was posted on LinkedIn, it was posted on Facebook, it was posted on Google+, even Pinterest. Actually, I had a little post there. So, and I could see, of course, I couldn't track Pinterest, and I didn't unfortunately track the numbers, but when people showed up at the webinars, I could see a bunch of different networks they had signed in with. So of course it doesn't tell me that they saw it on Facebook, but I could see some people signed in with Facebook, some with Google+, some with LinkedIn, and some with your the Business Hangout sign up. So I had all four. So I take it as a sign that people also saw it all kinds of different places. So my advice is the more places, the better, basically. You can't say it enough times because people need to be reminded.
Wonderful. That's great. Another question is about the logistics.
Yeah.
Did you notice anything or any challenges as a host in regards with your configuration, like the connection speed?
Well, I have a pretty good internet speed in my house here. I work from home, so it's my own internet connection here. I just bumped it up recently. I can't remember the speed, but it's pretty big. But what I did notice that you have to take into consideration is, and I understood that this is actually a Google Hangout issue, that sometimes when I ask people in the webinar, because you want to have some interaction with your audience, when they answered in the comment section, it was sort of delayed. So I was sitting there in the beginning thinking, oh my God, nobody is even reacting when I ask them something. This is horrible. And so I, you know, even though I paused and stuff, and I thought, ooh, this is not good. but it turned out that it was just delayed. So you have to take that into consideration, and maybe think that into your presentation, whether you can make some sort of break that's not too awkward to allow people to actually write their comments and send them to you. Because since I was just me, it's a little tricky to read and present at the same time. So I had to sort of mix it up. So, but when you know it, it's not a big problem. You just have to be aware.
All right, great. One last question, and let's take this question from Bruce.
Mm-hmm.
How do you make use of the recordings of the Hangouts?
Well, this time what I did was for the course that I'm selling, the e-course in project management. What I did was I have a little section. It's a whole little website by itself, and I have a little free section on that website to give sort of appetizers to people. And because what I used the webinar for was I presented a bunch of training in the beginning. And then after the training, I told them about this new course, that all this training was just a little part of this whole project management course that you can sign up for. And then I told people that they could go in and sign up for the course on this website, but they could also go in and see the recordings and download a couple of templates that I had shown in the presentation. So people basically had an opportunity to just watch the free content, download a couple of templates, and leave again, or they could check out the course and consider whether they wanted to sign up. So, but I'm thinking of maybe I'm probably going to take down the free recordings when my course is starting tomorrow. I close the sign-ups for that, and I might take down the free content and maybe cut it down and use it for something else, use it as little freebies, or use it as, you get access to it when you sign up for my newsletter, or that sort of thing. So there are a bunch of ways you can reuse it in different ways. Just cut out some of it maybe, or lots of opportunities.
Absolutely. Fantastic. Thank you very much, Lise. I mean, we can.
You're welcome.
We can continue for, I think, hours. Your experience is very rich, and everyone here is starting to do something similar as they are starting their journey into webinars and promoting their businesses through Business Hangouts. So as you can see, the questions are very pertinent, and thank you for accepting to come. You have been very nice with us doing that and answering to all these questions.
No problem. Also, I would say if I'm on Google Plus, so if anybody has other questions, they can just look me up there and ask me. I'll be happy to answer more questions if you have any. So just look me up on Google Plus. It's the same name I have on the screen here.
Right, and actually, they can look if it's okay. They can click on your name and
sure.
and circle you and connect with you.
Absolutely, you're welcome.
All right, great. Thank you very much again.
You're welcome.
And now I'm going to switch to the presentation mode and go to the share some slides with you, and voila. So sharing my PowerPoint in order to start the rest of the presentation. So my presentation is going to last about 15 or 20 minutes. I'm going to talk about 2 services, Business Hangouts and 3D virtual events. Business Hangouts that we covered through Lise's experience, but we're going to cover a little bit in terms of features now. A little bit about the company. We're in business since 11 years. Based in California and Paris, France, with customers including small businesses, large corporations, government and defense, as well as education, many universities. We are small and growing. First part of my presentation is about Business Hangouts. This table shows a comparison between Business Hangouts and other webinar products on the market, and Liz mentioned it. There are some other tools. She was interested by the fact that, or at least her first criteria was the affordability of Business Hangouts. There are also some other advantages technically. One of them is the fact that literally you can scale it up in an unlimited manner while other systems are limited. The fact that you can have simultaneous video streams in HD up to 10 for free Google accounts and up to 15 for enterprise Google accounts. None of them is anywhere close to this performance, which is there thanks to Google. Google's environment also includes an API which allowed us to develop this tool, but also is interesting for you because there are other tools that you can use in addition to ours, like the screen share that I'm using right now, which is a Google tool. And then the pricing. Another thing to note is that you have a free version available, free forever, not a trial one, which has, of course, its limitation, but it is more than enough for small gatherings. Definitely not enough for webinars, but for small gatherings is more than enough. Google has made this available on mobile, so you can have your audience, and we may have some people. I think we have something like 40 or 50 people. I don't know. I'm not counting the viewers we have right now, and I'm sure some of you are from mobile, as we have seen in the past. We are also geolocating for those who allow it on their browser, so that you can see on the map, and I will show it in a second. In our case, how the viewers are spread around the world, and the 3D aspect, which allows to have a sense of presence and see who is raising hand and give a common place where we feel as we are in the same room. And one of the things that you can do for larger events is to associate your webinar to an exhibit hall where you have sponsors coming in and having booths or stands. And that is what we can do by combining the web conferencing and the virtual trade show application. And I'm going to show you some examples there as well. And in regards with the pricing and features, this is the table we have here. As you can see, the free application, the free version, allows you to have full event planner like everyone, the unified chat that you see on the right-hand side, moderation and controls that we actually even improved. The moderation control that Lise was talking about has even been improved last week with some significant new features, allowing the presenter to literally control the viewer's screen. The 3D visual and maps, all these innovative technologies are available for all. And then there are some features like the reminder emails and the follow-up emails, which require a $9 per month subscription and take you up to 50 attendees. And the most popular plan we have right now is $49 a month. It's full-featured. All the functionalities are there, and it's limited to 100 attendees, which allows you to run for quite decent webinars for just $49 monthly. and we have also further plans. On the viewer side, the viewers, you are already seeing this, so this is nothing new, but you have, and by now you have discovered the chat on your right, the viewers list. I noticed someone was asking, how do I see all the viewers, why I'm not showing myself? You need to scroll down here, as you have been answered kindly by different viewers. And I have some other additional, as a host, you have some other additional features which show here for control, and here to control different parameters. Now I want to switch to the 3D demo, so that I show you a little bit of what we have here. So I'm going to change my screen share. Now I'm changing, just for your information, so that you know what I'm doing. I like presenting it so they can maybe serve as practices or mini training, if I may call it that way. I have Firefox on the other on another browser. I'm using Chrome for this business hangout, and on Firefox I can show this. So this is actually a 3D lobby. Looks like, and it's available to public. It's available, accessible from our website, and it looks like there are some people and visiting us, and they are trying the slideshow. Ali and Anne Maldonado are not with Altadine, so it's just a coincidence we are seeing there. I can chat with them. Hello, and I can go there and have a seat here. And I have different views here. So the view of the entrance, the general view, so that we get a sense of how it is. So it's like a very futuristic environment. This is a view from the top, which shows how it is structured. And by the way, you notice that Ali is answering me right now. And I have another view. This is the view of the audience here, where I can come here and bring my avatar here, as you can see, and watch the presentation. So presenter is Ali, and she's discovering our slides, which are put there on demand, available, so that they can discover our technology. And I can check around also other products that we have here, and go to a video. I can even start watching a video. I'm not going to start it because it's going to interfere with my audio here, but you can discover this place by yourself. And I can also find a corner with a lounge, sit down and chat with the other participants, get to know them. I don't know them, or just say that it would be funny if they discover this recording of this webinar later for them. So typing that, sorry, I have to go, and I'm going to leave this environment. So it's interesting. So she is also a viewer of Business Hangouts. That's fabulous. Great job, Ali. So I'm going to leave here. Another example is the trade show setup. These are all templates which are available in the 3D virtual event platform, and they can be customized. So a rather small exhibit hall with some 10 booths, 7 commercial booths, and different other environments. So I can look at different booths, for instance, Dan and Bradstreet, and sit down here and talk to the representatives. Of course, this is a demo, so no representative is there, but they could be here and chat with me. And I can also click, as you can see on the right, click to open. Can click here and open the links that they want me to see. Could be documents, download, brochures, PDF. It could be links to the websites. It could be videos showing on the screen. Another one here. I can visit this booth as well, or just get together with someone else at the Starbucks here and get a coffee, a virtual one. So that's about the 3D environment. Back to my presentation. Screen sharing again. Here. All right, and and back to Business Hangouts. I'm not going to detail this slide. Lise already explained the benefits of Business Hangouts compared to Google Hangouts. A more professional environment with the planner, emails, more control. I would just add the fact that you can have non-plussers in as well, Facebookers, people from LinkedIn. If you scroll down your viewers, we see someone with no social media, just signing in with their email and first name, last name into Business Hangouts. We have Frank Schwartz from signing in with Facebook. And today we have no one from LinkedIn. So that's an interesting feature. And we have also you can without knowing too much of HTML, you can actually embed this right as a tab in your Facebook page. I may actually show you something. May require registration for that, but this virtual event, I will show that later. Need to register as Facebook to get that, but you can very easily, in a few minutes, copy paste the embed code of your login into a Facebook page and have this running inside Facebook. Other comment for plussers, the way to use a Hangout on Air on Google Plus is quite complicated. You need to manage many different tools inside Google Plus, like setting this up in your calendar, creating an event, managing that event, creating a circle with all your participants, inviting them at the last minute, going and checking the YouTube link. That part is again at the last minute, and coming and pasting it into your event URL. There is the lower third tool, which is another tool that you need to learn about. The lower third in Business Hangouts is both automatic, and you can also customize it without the need for another product. Comment tracker, in order to bring comments or questions to the screen, as we did when you were asking your questions to Lise. That's what we did. No need to use another tool, another external tool, or the Q&A. That's yet another external tool recently released by Google. No need for all this. You have all that inside Business Hangouts in one place. Some of you are also members of Hangout Mastery. For those who don't know Hangout Mastery, it's run by Ronnie Binzer. who is also using Business Hangouts for their own training, for the masteries training. But those who need more training, mainly on Google Hangout, YouTube, everything around the Hangout on Air, you may want to subscribe to Ronnie's mastery program. I recommend it. In terms of the company, and mainly with our 3D virtual events, but now we have already a large number of customers as well in Business Hangouts. These are some of those customers. For the virtual event project, if you have a plan for a virtual event combining Business Hangouts and 3D virtual events, we can offer consulting, helping you to build your virtual event. We typically charge a 1 hour, $200 initial consulting in order to analyze with you the audience profile, scope of the project, you know, what should be in, what should not, what are the challenges, analyzing the content, if you're going to show slides, video, if you're going to live stream a presentation or a real person in a conference room, or just screen sharing, how to set up the audio and chat, especially if the numbers of participants is a large number, and how to output data, how to set it up so that you have the right output and lead generation. So we help you do this analysis through our consulting, as we are used to run those type of virtual events for other customers. This initial consulting is deductible if you decide to run the event itself. And finally, for Business Hangouts, remember, this is a guaranteed satisfaction. There is a guaranteed satisfaction program for the first paid plans, even the one with full features, so that you can see it. If after your first month you are not totally satisfied, you just ask for a refund, no question asked, we refund you. So there is really no reason not to subscribe. So subscribe now, businesshangouts.com, and join us in this adventure. So, time for questions. Let me see if there are any questions for me. So there's a question from Ben Yost. Please go over the private recording feature, and can we upgrade from $9 to $49? Of course, you can upgrade at any time, as you can downgrade. So that's obviously possible at any time. In terms of money, whatever you pay is your sole commitment. So if you have paid a monthly subscription and you cancel it to upgrade to something else, you are not refunded for the remaining months. But in general, none of our subscriptions engage you for a term longer than what you pay. And you can downgrade or upgrade at any time. The private recording is what we are using right now, and I'm using my own personal profile for this. So as you can see in my lower third here, my name is written here. If I were using our business page, it would have written Business Hangouts here. And another sign is what you have there, my name up there in the participants. If you click there, you go to my profile. These show that I'm using my personal profile for this webinar and not the business page that we actually sometimes use. So this is going to go to my personal channel in terms of YouTube, and it's going to be unlisted. So you can find it. You can search for it. You can find it. That's the privacy that that we offer. It has its limitations, but it works for, let's say, 99% of the cases. Another question here. So we have Dale Bros asking, do people that register for an event get a confirmation email with a link if I'm on the free version? Of course, that's available in all versions. The free versions work, as I mentioned in the features, very decently. The features which are not available in free is the private recording, is the automatic reminders, the automatic follow-up emails, and what else? That's it, actually, and it's limited to 20 participants. Everything else is in there. A Sherman, thank you for your nice comment. Seems as you like it. Okay, there are already elements taking you from A to Z, setting up a Hangout. There's actually, I'm answering to Dale Bros' question. Dale, when you go for a sign up, if you go to the website and you go to sign up free, the page from which you sign up, at the lower part of that page, and you can see the top of that video, there's a 7 minutes video which explains you in 7 minutes how to set up your first Hangout. There is a 4 steps wizard: date and time, email, customization, and manage, which is really, and the 7 minutes is really the time you need to do your first setup. If you are not at ease with, in general, with this type of technologies, you may take more time, but the good thing about the video is that you can pause it and see it on your side. Yes, Frank. For a larger project, it requires analysis. So yes, we do charge a consulting fee for that. But that, if you decide to do the actual virtual event, is deducted from the total invoice. But yes, it requires a real consulting work to see what how to do it, and it has advice in it, and you can figure out that things which are possible that you had not thought about, or things which would be a waste of time because other customers have done it, and we know that it's not going to work. So we tell you all that, and I think there's value for it, and that's what we propose. We have a question for Lise, as Lise has been nice to stay with us, from Bruce. How did you create your own custom invitations, etc., using a template? MS Word? Maybe Lise is not hearing us. Are you there, Lise? Or maybe you have muted yourself. Okay. We will see that later. Looks like Lise may be in another conversation, actually.
I'm back.
Oh, okay. Wonderful.
I don't know what I did. I left for a second.
No worries.
But I'm back. I did try to enter in the comments actually, but
Okay.
what I explained was I went in and next to each of the invitations there's a preview button and there's an edit button. And under the edit button, that's where you get all the HTML, and that's where I went in and didn't change the coding and all that stuff, but noticed where there was text, and you can go a little bit back and forth and preview your changes, so you can see what you're doing. And I did this as a test first, of course, to see if it would actually work. And then I just adjusted it as I went along, which worked fine. But I think if you're completely new to HTML and it freaks you out when you see a little code thing, I think you can get someone to do it for you relatively cheap, because it really is simple. So it's not a big fix. And for most people using English, you probably don't need to do a lot of changes. I just I needed to translate mine into Danish, so I didn't have any way around it. So I had to change it, but it's not that difficult.
And by the way, tomorrow we are having a training, our first live training, and the subject is exactly this: how to customize Business Hangouts. And one of the elements of customization is customizing your emails, confirmation email template, bringing in your logo, and so on. So Bruce, I even think I saw your name in the in those who registered for that training. You will learn more there. But as Lise mentioned, it depends on how you feel about it. It does not require HTML skills. It does require some skills to differentiate, to recognize HTML tags, and somehow not touching them or touching them correctly, and change the text elsewhere. But yes, that's typically what she did, as she mentioned, the Word document on the side and this. A question here, a comment here. Let me bring this up. So Frank is saying thank you to you, Lise.
You're welcome.
And we have a question: the private document is private while being recorded? Yes, it is. It is right now. So in the example that in the Business Hangouts that we are running, this one is private. So tell me if you can find it. So I think we're almost 9 a.m. Pacific, almost an hour, took an hour. I'm happy to take one last question, and that is going to be from Janet. Let's see what she's asking. It's a question for Guillaume, actually. When you're setting up a Business Hangout and change the date before it's happened, does the link you are sent as the presenter still work? I'll leave it to Guillaume because it's directly asked from Guillaume.
Yeah, yeah, it will still work. The problem would be with the emails or invitation emails you have sent, which may have the wrong date, but the link will work. Yeah.
So to answer this more generally, if I may, Janet, everything, almost everything, I don't think anything is accepted there. Everything you have set up in your Business Hangout as the event can be changed until no one has entered that Hangout. So if you want to be safe, until 30 minutes before the event, you can change everything. The dates is a special case because if people have registered, as Guillaume mentioned, you will have an issue there. It's too late. They will be confused. They will come and they will get that message saying the meeting is over or has not started. Please contact your host. But everything else you can change. I'm going to thank you, all of you, for your active participations. Love this Q&A session. It's very interactive, even from someone coming from Facebook, so you can see what you can do yourself on your side. So go for it. And thank you, Lise, and thank you everyone else for having joined us today.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.